Welcome to the Rocky Mountain Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening as part of this college fair. So do sign up for additional sessions. The presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week. livescan.com/RMACAC. Just a reminder about the format for this session. We have 45 minutes and we have 6 institutions who will speak to you for about 6 minutes each. And then we'll have a few minutes for Q&A as we wrap up. And so now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. And first up is San Diego State University.
All right, thanks, Matt. Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Zahn. I am the Regional Admissions and Recruitment Manager at San Diego State University. I'm based in Castle Rock, Colorado, and I appreciate you joining us this evening to learn about all these great colleges and universities. My friend and colleague, Sarah Falk, is with me this evening as well. She'll be providing information in the chat and can answer questions as well. There we go. Located in America's finest city, San Diego is home to 70 miles of coastline, more than 100 colorful and unique neighborhoods, world-class museums, arts, and entertainment venues, while also providing access to mountains, deserts, parks, hundreds of miles of trails, and world-class educational experiences. Home to 30,000 undergraduates, the SDSU community is one of the most diverse campuses in the country and offers unique cross-border educational and service opportunities, over 500 study abroad options across the globe, 8 unique cultural centers, and close to 100 majors across 7 colleges. We've also been recognized as a Forbes Best Value College, ranked 8th nationally for graduation rate performance. We're a Hispanic serving institution, recipient of the Higher Education and Diversity Award, a Best Colleges for LGBTQ+ students according to Campus Pride, and an NCAA Division I athletics powerhouse in our Mountain West Conference. So SDSU won't claim to be perfect, but we're really working to be the best school for as many students as possible. Fingers crossed. Let's take a quick little aerial tour of SDSU. So if you decide to call SDSU home for your 4-year college experience, you'll have the opportunity to live in one of our residential learning communities. In these communities, you will live alongside other students with shared academic or co-curricular interests and are enrolled in a connected set of academic courses to help produce smaller, more intentional communities that promote student success. Some examples include the Pre-Law community, Visual and Performing Arts, Pride House, Weber Honors Residential College, and the Toltec House for undeclared majors. And as an out-of-state student, you are required to live on campus your first 2 years. So why not get involved or join a residential learning community with students who share similar interests, academic goals, or career aspirations? The advantages to living on campus are numerous, and research indicates that students that live on campus actually have higher GPAs, report a better college experience, and graduate in a timely fashion. Of course, let me get to the next slide here. Of course, the purpose of attending SDSU is to earn your degree. With close to 100 majors organized into 7 colleges in the SDSU Global Campus, there's something for just about everyone. The Fowler College of Business has majors like finance, real estate, and marketing. College of Engineering includes 8 Abbott accredited programs, including aerospace and environmental engineering. Aspiring teachers will find a welcome home in the College of Education. College of Health and Human Services includes social work, foods and nutrition majors. The College of Professional Studies and Fine Arts offers journalism and things like television, film, and new media. The College of Sciences includes astronomy, computer science, and an emphasis in marine biology. And finally, the College of Arts and Letters has a wide variety of majors in areas such as foreign languages, sociology, sustainability, economics, and philosophy. Popular programs include psychology, criminal justice, kinesiology, business, mechanical engineering, and nursing as well. And then also, there's a ton of unique academic resources, including the Mount Laguna Observatory, the Lab and Entrepreneurship Center, the Coastal Marine Institute Labs, the Center for Clinical and Cognitive Neuroscience, and the Human Patient Simulation Center. Earning your degree is key, obviously, but having some fun is important too. So whether you want to play a sport, join one of the more than 300 clubs and organizations, lead a community service project, write for the student newspaper, or work on the campus radio station, you'll find endless opportunities to stay active and engaged with campus. Fingers crossed again. Go technology. So if you're ready to join the SDSU community, what do you need to know for application and admission purposes? Students apply at calstate.edu/apply. Evaluation of students is based on GPA, required A through G course completion, strength of curriculum, and intended major. SDSU is test free or test blind, whichever you prefer as far as the term for fall 2022 applicants. The application is available October 1st and generally goes to the end of November, maybe early December. Admission decisions are sent by March, and you have until May 1st to submit your intent to enroll, indicating you wish to enroll at SDSU. Thank you for your time. I hope you'll consider joining the SDSU Aztec family. Good luck with your college search, and please feel free to ask any questions via the chat. Likewise, my contact information is here, so feel free to contact me if I can be of any help. Thanks again, and take care.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Next up is the University of Redlands.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Sebastian Brown. I'm the admissions counselor here at the University of Redlands that has the pleasure of working with students from Colorado. I'm actually a Colorado native myself, born and raised in Inglewood, and am also a Redlands alum, so came right here to Southern California. So the University of Redlands, if you're not familiar with where we are, also located in Southern California. We're about 60 to 90 minutes from the beach, the mountains, the desert, and Disneyland, all equidistant to campus. So for our students that like to be outdoors and adventure, you really have it all right here in our backyard. I like to kind of think Redlands geographically, similar to like where Boulder is situated. But if you imagine Colorado Springs would be the beach, you really have access to a lot of different things outside of our campus. So here at the University of Redlands, we really pride ourselves on educating the hearts and minds of our students. So I'll start by talking about the heart and the things that our students get involved in outside of their academic experience. Redlands is home to about 2,500 undergraduate students. We have over 120 clubs and organizations ranging from outdoor programs to Greek life, intramural sports, and NCAA Division III athletics. We also have our first generation center and associated programs. Here at Redlands, about a third of our students are out of state or international, and we are represented by 45 different states in 45 different countries. We're also about 1 in 3 students are first generation, or the first in their families to go to college. Here at Redlands, community is of the utmost importance to us, and we actually guarantee your housing on campus all 4 years. So you're not going to be commuting to Redlands from Colorado or in the Rocky Mountain area. So knowing that you're always going to have a place to live on campus is kind of a nice safety net, and it really contributes to a strong sense of community, knowing that all of our students really live on campus throughout their 4 years. Plus the additional resources here at Redlands. For example, you are entitled to up to 2 hours of tutoring per subject per week, and that is included in your tuition, as well as things like our health center, and the fact that parking is free on campus year round is also a nice incentive for students that are thinking about bringing a car. As far as experiences outside of our campus, the University of Redlands sends about 50% of our students overseas throughout their 4 years. We have really a limited number of programs. We have a great opportunity. You can see the picture here is our Salzburg campus located in Austria. we actually allow a Salzburg +1. So students could do a semester in our Salzburg campus as well as another semester at another destination. And that is all included as a part of their tuition. In addition to that, things like community service hours, we actually complete more than 120,000 hours of service every year, despite only having 2,500 students on campus, as well as research, internships, and on-campus work-study positions. So the average class size here at the University of Redlands is about 18 students. We also have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And all of our academic programs are listed here. Now, as a liberal arts and sciences institution, you come to Redlands undecided or undeclared. We do not admit by major, allowing our students the freedom and flexibility to find their academic passions once they're here on campus. Some of these programs that may pique your interest include our Business and Education 4+1 programs, where after a 4-year undergraduate degree, you can finish your MBA or your master's in education plus a teaching credential in just 1 additional year instead of 2 or even 3 years. We also have programs like our Johnston Center for Integrative Studies, where students effectively create their own major. So we've had graduates from the University of Redlands with degrees in astropolitics, and they've gone on to become lobbyists for NASA in Washington, DC. We also have our minor in something called spatial studies, which uses geospatial mapping and data analysis to help our 21st century students make 22nd century decisions. Here at Redlands, we are a member of the Common App. We do also provide fee waivers for students upon request. So reach out to me as your admissions counselor. Be happy to waive that $50 application fee. We are also test optional from here on out, so we don't require your test scores in order to be considered at Redlands. And we also follow a 10 through 12 weighted GPA calculation format. We have 2 central deadlines, November 15th and January 15th as our early and regular decisions. Usually students hear back from us in either January or March, and also have that May 1 decision deadline. Of course, financial aid will be an important consideration in your college search. Here at the University of Redlands, over 95% of our students receive some form of financial assistance. Our average financial aid package goes over $46,000 per year for students. And we have additional scholarship opportunities in talent awards like music, creative writing, theater, and art, as well as leadership, and for Native students, part of our San Manuel Band of Mission Indian scholarships. We also have a 4-year promise. Getting out in 4 years is also very important. So here at the University of Redlands, we guarantee that you will graduate in 4 years, and you can ask me questions about how do we actually guarantee that for our students. But there's some contact information and ways to stay in touch, and I'll also put it in the chat. Thanks.
Great, thank you very much. Next up is California State University, Chico.
All right, thank you. Thanks for logging in. My name's Jacob, and I'm an admissions counselor for Chico State, as we're known throughout most of the country. I'm actually a regional recruiter. I'm based out of Southern California, and I lead all of our out-of-state outreach and recruitment. Chico State is located in the heart of Northern California at the northern end of the Sacramento Valley. And you can see Butte County is highlighted in red there. We are a rural campus. So Chico is the most populous city in Butte County with about 100,000 residents, so medium-sized city. Chico State's considered a medium-sized CSU. We have about 17,000 students total. And in my opinion, between the city size of 100,000 and university size of about 17,000 is kind of the perfect amount for having enough to get involved with anything you could imagine getting involved with, lots of social opportunities, academic opportunities, obviously, but not so large that it's overwhelming or you have to feel like you have to fight, for a spot in either the academics or in the city culture itself. You can see a few landmarks that are within striking distance of Chico. The main campus itself has a few unique features. Number one, we are a highly residential campus, which means about 90% of Chico State students live either on campus in university housing or within 1 or 2 miles of the main campus. The other unique feature is that we're located right in downtown Chico. Being the second oldest CSU campus, over 130 years old, the community and the university itself have a great long-standing symbiotic relationship. So when you're a member of the Chico State community, you are part of the Chico community in general. In addition to the main campus, we also have a 4,000-acre nature preserve called the Big Chico Creek Ecological Reserve and an 800-acre university farm. Obviously, certain majors use these facilities much more, environmental sciences, animal sciences, agriculture, biology, but they also hold events for all students and community members throughout the year. So 2 other great resources that are not on the main campus itself. We offer over 120 majors, minors, and academic programs. We only have 3 majors that are considered impacted. They're highlighted in red: nursing, recording arts and music, and social work, but they do not affect freshman admission. They're only impacted at the upper division level. And if you'd like more details on that, please ask and I'll be happy to explain. A few stats that flesh out the academic environment a bit. 23-to-1 is our student to faculty ratio. Average class size is about 30. Since they started doing the ranking in 1998, Chico State has been a top 10 regional public university in the West and a top 10% valued college. We have over 200 different student clubs and organizations, from cellular and molecular biology club to young entrepreneurs club to Harry Potter club or My Little Pony club, things that are totally fun and silly, activities clubs, athletics clubs, anything you can think of, you can get involved with or start your own. Chico State is NCAA Division II campus with 13 varsity sports. We don't have a football program, but regardless if you're competing at the varsity level or clubs level, or if you simply want to stay active at our world-class fitness facility called the Wildcat Recreation Center, there are great ways for students to get involved and be active. In terms of admissions, like our other CSU peers, for fall 21 and 22, we are not using SAT or ACT exam scores. We're using the California standard A through G requirements. If you have questions about that, again, please ask. And then simply using GPA. Each semester, the minimum cutoff GPA changes depending on the size and the quality of the applicant pool and how many spots we have available for that admission cycle. We expect to go back to our traditional admissions standards in fall 23 and beyond, which does require an SAT or ACT. But as we've all learned in the last year, this could change quickly. So please check back if you're thinking of applying at that time. About 30% of our new students every year are transfer students. So that's a great pathway as well. It's about a 2-year process after graduating high school. Students need to earn 60 semester transferable units, 30 of which need to be general education units, complete what we call the Golden 4, which you can see down there at the bottom, and then a qualifying GPA, which again changes semester by semester. In terms of money and paying for college, the FAFSA, you can see application dates there, just like most other colleges in the country. If a student isn't eligible for FAFSA, the California DREAM Act is used. And then Chico State has one application that allows students to be considered for over 700 individual awards. It's called the Wildcat Scholarships. You can see the application dates there. Chico State was recently recognized by lind.edu as having the lowest student debt at graduation out of 22 schools surveyed across California, and number 5 nationally out of almost 500 schools. So one way that we try to help students after they graduate is by trying to keep their costs as low as possible. On the same financial note, Chico is a WUI member, which means that students coming from out of state save about $9,000 a year on their out-of-state costs. The only restrictions to that are our online programs and nursing, of course. All other majors are eligible for WUI, which is an automatic discount if you do the paperwork and state that you'll be maintaining Colorado residency or non-California residency while you're a student at Chico State. We're very active on social media. The best place to connect with us is Instagram. We do giveaways. We have regular interviews and live streams with different representatives from across campus, from athletics to housing to advising, admissions, just about anybody you'd want to hear from. I will drop my personal email address in the chat. If you'd like to ask any questions, you can reach me there anytime. And thanks for logging in. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Next up is Dominican University of California.
Thank you very much. Welcome. My name is Robert Bass. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at Dominican University. This is a quick look at all of our counselors right there. I'm on the second from right. For those who don't know, we are based in California, in Northern California, just across from San Francisco and Oakland, about 20 minutes north of San Francisco, obviously depending on traffic. Very beautiful, covered, small school covered in redwoods. It's a really amazing place to be. So recently we were ranked in the top 11 for selected private colleges in the United States for social mobility, something we're very proud of. And on top of that, we are one of the best colleges for your money in 2019. The reason is that because location is always really helpful. We are right across some, one of the largest tech area in the world. So that's always helpful to have our students graduate from us and go across the bridge or stay in the area and get jobs over there. A few fast facts: we were founded in 1890, so we're one of the oldest universities in California. 1,800 students total, that includes graduates as well, so it is a very small university in that sense. 87% of the students will stay for their second year compared to the average 72. Average GPA 3.6, and our largest class holds 28 students. So in that regard, you're never working with TAs, you're only working with teachers in that sense. So you're not a number at our university, you are who you are, which is great. What we pride ourselves on is the Dominican experience. These are the 4 pillars that make up our university, and we'll break those down right now. Integrative coaching. So integrative coaching is when you come to Dominican, we are going to pair you up with an older student, more like a mentor. Coming to college is kind of a scary thing to begin with. So we want to make sure we have someone who can show you where the dorms are exactly, or where the nearest Target is, a grocery store. Our university is really small, so it takes about 6 minutes of walking one end to the other, but it's still nice to have someone there that can really help you around. You can lean on them, ask them questions, and how they handle situations, all of that. Next area is signature work. These days, having a degree just isn't enough to always get a job afterwards. So we want to make sure that we're working with you to collect all your signature work, be able to pile up later on down the road. So when you go to apply to college, you're not just talking, or apply to jobs after college, you're not just talking about things you did, you're actually able to show students or show your employers. With that, the next aspect is community engagement. To graduate, you do have to complete an internship at Dominican, or you get to complete an internship. Depending on your major will depend on where your internship is going to be. Depending on your major, you can do more than one. If you're business, we're probably going to have you do 2 or 3 just to make sure you can get a lot of experience. But that way, again, you're not just graduating with a degree, you're graduating with a lot of experience as well. And the last one is your digital portfolio. The idea behind this is that when you go to graduate, after you graduate, you want to go be able to show your employers things you've done, all that experience we talked about earlier. You can bring that to interviews and everything. It really looks good with that. These are outcomes of where our students have gotten hired. Again, really helpful to be a school in the Bay Area where we have all this, the luxury of all these phenomenal companies that are dying to hire our students. If you are more in the medical field, and we do specialize within biological sciences and nursing and global public health as 3 main areas of our campus, these are where we're sending students as well for clinicals and then getting hired afterwards. And then if a bachelor's degree is not enough for you, you're trying to go above and beyond. We have a couple at Dominican that we can talk about at a future date if you want to, within occupational therapy areas like that. But these are also where we're sending students as well across the US there. So we are still accepting for our fall 2021. It's pretty easy. It's a free application. It's on our website. Personal information. Everything except for nursing. Nursing is the one that is closed. The rest are rolling admissions. On campus, there's plenty of ways to get involved. Just like all these awesome schools are talking to you today, there's plenty of clubs and organizations. Whatever really sparks your interest, we want to make sure that you come to Dominican, you can do what you want, but also that you're going to be a part of the university if you want to. And there's plenty of ways to get involved on campus. We are a Division II school, so if you are an athlete, we have everything again but football for the most part. So there's definitely a good ways to get involved. If you're not that aggressive with it and you want to do something a little more relaxed, we do have intramurals and all that as well. So this is a great way to stay involved with us. This is our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel, and also our Twitter page. We're updating every single day with fun facts going on right now. We just opened up campus for in-person tours again, if you're an accepted first-year student, so that's an option as well. So don't hesitate to go online to our Visit Us page, and if you're ever in town in California, stop by. Thank you very much. My name is Robert Bass, and I will put my information in the chat box as well. It's a pleasure speaking with all of you.
Great, thank you so much. Next up is the University of Portland.
Hi everyone, my name is Melanie. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at UP. I use she, hers pronouns, and welcome to UP from the RMACAC Fair. Just to begin, this is a photo of our campus of our newest academic building, and you can overlook and see Portland and everything right there. I am the only college here tonight not from California, so if you're interested in Oregon, pretty fun. A little bit about UP. We are a small, private, Catholic, liberal arts teaching university located in Portland. What's really great about our location is we're up in North Portland, so we're about 15 minutes away from downtown, 5 minutes away from the closest little Portland neighborhood, the St. John's neighborhood. And we have really great access to the forest, the city, the mountains, and the coast. So a lot of options to really be immersed in the Pacific Northwest, just because there's so much to do up here. We are a neighborhood campus, but what's really great about Portland as a whole is we are growing fast and home to major companies like Nike, Adidas, Intel, Legacy, just to name a few. Our campus size is 4,000 students, so we're kind of on that smaller end of campus sizes. We have a 24 average student class size and an 11:1 student to faculty ratio. So like a couple other universities here tonight, you are definitely a name, not a number, which you can probably see throughout some similarities we all have. We're also a Catholic institution. We're with the Congregation of the Holy Cross, but something I always like to emphasize is that religion on campus is always an invitation, never an expectation. It's always there as an outlet for you, but you don't have to be involved, and we don't have any mass requirements if that's not your speed. About 45% of our students identify as Catholic on campus, and there are opportunities for all faith backgrounds on campus to explore their faith and their spirituality. A little bit more about the liberal arts teaching piece of our university. So we are a liberal arts university, so during your time at UP, you do take 13 core curriculum classes in line with your major degree as well. At UP, we have a College of Arts and Sciences, which houses all of our hard sciences, social sciences, and stuff like that. And then we have 4 professional schools at UP. So we have the Pamplin School of Business, the School of Education, the Shiley School of Engineering, and the School of Nursing. All of our programs here are direct entry, so that means when you apply and if you're accepted, you're automatically enrolled within that degree program. And what's great about all of these too is there's lots of opportunities for real world experience in all these majors across campus. We also don't have any impacted programs at UP. I always do recommend though, if you're interested in nursing, apply early. That is our one major that does fill up pretty quick. A little bit about the community and campus life, which in my opinion is the best part of UP. I'm a UP alum myself, so I was pretty involved when I was a student, and it's really fun to be involved as a faculty member as well. About 75% of our students are from out of state, so from being in the Rocky Mountain area, you wouldn't be alone. We have 80+ student-run campus clubs to join, which is really great because we have clubs from club sports, faith-based clubs, academic-based clubs, kind of those fun clubs too, Chips and Salsa Club, that's a really fun one, as well as just like outdoors clubs and stuff like that. We also have study abroad opportunities for all majors. The University of Redlands mentioned a Salzburg campus. We also have one, which is really cool. So you already got to see a really cool picture of Salzburg, but we have 16 different locations that students can go to, and every major can study abroad on campus, including nursing and engineering. They have a more strict course schedule, but we make sure that they can work that in if students want to study abroad. We're also a D1 school, so we have D1 sporting events. We don't have football, but our big sport is soccer. One of my favorite fun facts that I always like to share is Megan Rapinoe is actually a UP alum, class of 2008. So if you're into soccer, this is the school for you. And we also have club sports and intramural sports that you can be involved in as well. And finally, we also have the Moreau Center for Service and Justice, which offers engaging service and immersion experiences if students want to get more involved in their community, in the North Portland community, or even across the United States with different service and immersion. A little bit about the application process. We are a rolling admission school, so basically what that means is when you apply and send in all of your application materials, we will begin reviewing your application. You usually hear back from us in about 4 to 6 weeks with an admissions decision. We have a priority deadline of November 15th, but this is non-binding and non-committing. I always recommend applying early. The required application materials that we have is an application via the Common App or the UP application. You can do either, we don't have a preference. Your college essay, your official high school transcripts, 1 letter of recommendation, and we are test optional for this next year, and hopefully for the rest too. So some important dates just for you all to remember is September 1st is when our application goes live for next year. November 15th is our recommended deadline. January 15th is our application deadline, the last day to apply, and May 1st is that national college decision deadline. And then just a little bit about me. Once again, my name is Melanie. If you ever want to contact me, you can see my phone number there, but I primarily work from home, as I'm sure a lot of us do. So always feel free to shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We also have some social media that you can follow below, either on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Instagram is definitely where we are the most active. So if you follow UP_admissions, I'm actually one of the counselors who helps run that, and we'd love to see you. So thank you all so much for joining us here today, and good luck with the rest of the college search.
Great, thanks very much. Next up is Fresno Pacific University.
And I'm mute, sorry. We're just all getting used to Zoom, even though it's a year later. My name is Vanessa, and I'm one of our admissions counselors here at Fresno Pacific University, but for short, since it's a long title, we go by FPU. So let's get started. So if you guys are unfamiliar with where Fresno is at, we're actually the 5th largest city in California. Like some of these other great schools on here, we have a lot of access to the Bay Area, to the Central Coast, to Southern California. And we also have 3 national parks in about a 45-minute proximity from campus. So I was born and raised in the Fresno area. I love Fresno. I can attest that it's a really great city and a fun place to be, really central in California. You can get really anywhere and back within a day. So we have 300 days of sunshine. And like I said, those 3 national parks in close proximity. A little bit about our campus and our student population. So we have about 5 different locations across the Central Valley. So 1 in Bakersfield, Merced, 2 in Fresno. And so in total, we have about 4,100 students within all of our programs. But in our main campus, which is where I'm speaking from you today, we only have about 1,000 students. So probably one of the smallest schools here today, but there is a lot of great things, as you have probably heard, about going to a smaller university. A little bit about our demographics. 48% of our student body is Latinx. That number has actually gone up. So we are a Hispanic serving institution and a very diverse campus all around as well. A little bit more about our academics. We have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So for every 11 students, there's going to be 1 faculty or professor. We have over 100 areas of studies. I'll get into some of our majors here in a second. 81% of our faculty have their PhDs or doctorate degrees in their field of study. And our average GPA across campus has actually moved up to a 3.5 this year. Our top 5 majors on campus are psychology, kinesiology, business, communications, and pre-health. Liberal studies is also up there as a close 6th. We have 3 schools on campus: the School of Business, the School of Humanities, Religion, and Social Sciences, and the School of Natural Sciences. Some of our distinctive majors at FPU include our pre-nursing program, our liberal arts and education programs, which are state-renowned, really some of the greatest programs that you'll find here in California. Really great if you want to be a teacher at the primary or secondary level. And we also have software engineering, which is a popular major across students on campus. We also have a 4-year graduation guarantee. So we guarantee that you're out in 4 years if you're coming in as a freshman, and if not, we will pay for any of the additional fees or tuition that come on with an extra semester or an extra year. We also have a similar 2-year graduation guarantee for our transfer students who are coming in with their associate's degree to transfer or just their associate's degree. We are also big on community life here at FPU. Being that we are a small campus, we love to have students engaged and involved. We know you go to school primarily for the academic portion, but we also want you to have fun during your 4, 3, or 2 years on FPU's campus. So we do this through student events like mock rock, our giant lip sync battle, our school-wide mini golf, our Thanksgiving luncheons. We also offer intramurals in a variety of different sports. So if you're an athlete right now, but maybe don't want to continue at the competitive level, you can always get involved in intramurals. We also love to support our Sunbirds. That is our school mascot here. So all of our students get into all of our games for free. We are really big on baseball and volleyball and basketball. We also offer worship events as we are Christian University, which I'll get into in a little bit. But we do have over 60 different clubs and programmings that you can be a part of, a lot of leadership opportunities as well. And we like to take students on a lot of off-campus trips up to the Bay Area, to Disneyland, Six Flags, and different things like that. Like I mentioned, we are a Christian University. We do not require any students to come from any sort of faith background. It is more of an invitation, like UP said. So we host college hours, which are basically like our chapels that happen twice a week. You're not required to go. If you go to 14 a semester, you get half a unit's worth of credit towards graduation. We also do a lot of student ministries and volunteer hours around the Fresno area. We also do a lot of multicultural ministries and mission and service trips. So we take students abroad to over 20 different countries each summer just through missions and service trips. And I kind of clicked on that slide right now. So let's go over to study abroad, which we also offer. We partner with a variety of different programs to go to a variety of different countries. We can also send you to any country that you want to go to if there is a program there outside of FPU. So we partner with that to get you as much of your institutional aid and as much as of your federal aid as can be to make that more affordable for you also. We also do have athletics at FPU, so we are part of the NCAA Division II Pac West Conference. These are some of our men's sports. We do not have football or wrestling, which most men tend to look for. And for our female sports, we have these listed. The only ones that we don't have that women tend to look for is softball. We also do offer choral and instrumental ensembles. So if you're in choir, band, you are more than welcome to join any of these ensembles. You don't have to be a major or a minor. Same thing goes for our theater. We do 2 main stage productions, studio performances, musical theaters. And then our visual arts, we have these listed below. We are also in the process of building a new cultural and art center, which will be home to 2 new theaters on campus, a band room, an art gallery and studio. So a lot of different things to look forward to as a fine arts student on campus. All of these areas you can get scholarships in, even though you aren't a major or a minor. Athletes have to be part of an athletic program on campus in order to get that scholarship though. So these are some of the requirements for our freshmen. You have to have a 3.1 GPA. We again use the 10 through 12 weighted GPA as that total GPA. We have an application fee, but if you reach out to one of our counselors or our office, we will get you a fee waiver for that. We also offer institutional scholarships for every student who applies. So for our freshmen, the highest scholarship you can get is $16,000. If you fall into that range, you are also offered a full tuition scholarship based on an application process that's offered to 4 students every single year, and all the way down to $7,000 for our freshmen. For our transfers, it looks a little bit different. You can transfer in with as little as 24 units to be considered a typical transfer on our campus. So not 60 as you might see at most schools. Our transfer scholarship is also a 2.5 GPA to transfer over, but we do accept different students just based on their whole total package that we'll talk about in a little bit. Those transfer scholarships also range from $5,000 to $11,000 annually and are renewable annually as well, so that you'll have them for your 2, 3, or 4 years while you're on campus. A little bit about our financial aid. About our students are paying about 25% of total tuition on campus, covered by a lot of different grants and scholarships and on-campus jobs. We are the #1 most affordable private Christian college on the West Coast, and 98% of our students are receiving total aid. We are open for campus visits. If you want to apply, you can go onto our website, which I'll throw in the chat. And some of our deadlines include December 1st, March 1st, and August 15th is the last day to apply. We do not require test scores and those GPAs that I mentioned earlier. And then this is my contact information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you guys so much, and good luck in your college search and decision process.
Excellent, thank you very much. And so now we have a few minutes for Q&A before we wrap up. So I'd like to invite all of our presenters to come back on camera and respond to this question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And I'll ask them to respond in the same order that they presented.
Great question. I always tell students, don't try to win your college search. I feel like people, get into this competitive nature of, a classmate got into this school or that school and somehow it's better. It should be a journey that you enjoy the process and just find the school that is a good match for you.
Yeah, I love this question because when I was in high school, I ended up submitting about 35 college applications. It was a horrible way to spend my senior year. So my biggest piece of advice is to do your research and start early, and definitely go and visit a campus or connect with an admissions counselor because they can really help you get the proper vibe or feel of a school.
I think my advice is a lot of people tend to fixate on one aspect of a university. If you're a student athlete, you're looking at the sports program. If there's a certain academic program that a college offers, you might be completely fixated on that one thing. A good mental exercise is, if you have narrowed it down to a few campuses, try to take that primary focus away and ask yourself, would you still be happy there? All of us can attest to the numbers of students that go to a school for a particular program, whether it's academic or athletic or whatever. Life happens and they're no longer involved in that program and they're totally miserable. And now they have to uproot their lives, go through the whole process again from a different position. So I think that's a really healthy exercise. Try to take out as wide a view as possible, understanding that you're bringing your whole self to study in college, not just the academics, not just the sport, not just the volunteer opportunity or the scholarship.
Yeah, these are all great so far. To add to that, today with social media and everything, you can see 5,000 schools in 1 minute. So with that, try to step away and see what's most important to you and maybe your family in terms of what you're looking for in a school. And then if you have the ability, you gotta go see as many as you can. And just on top of that, try to stay as organized as possible because every school is going to offer a little bit different of what they're looking for. So on your end, just try to be as competitive as possible planning on what major you're looking for, just try to be a little more organized as possible, probably more than I had to be when I was applying to schools.
My biggest advice would be to call the Office of Admissions for whatever school you're looking at, because that's how you can talk to a current student and kind of get the feel of what they like about the university and what they're interested in and what the current events are, because you can always totally talk to an admissions counselor, but we're not as in touch all the time as current students can be. So I definitely recommend visiting campus and trying to talk to a current student, because I think that gives you a really good feel for what that university might be like for you.
Yeah, all great answers so far, and I echo what every counselor here has said. My biggest advice, though, would really just to be prioritize what's important to you. What are you looking for in a college? What do you want the next 4 years to look like? And do your search from there. What colleges are offering your majors? What colleges are offering programs that seem interesting to you that you might want to get involved in? And my biggest thing is just visit the campuses that you're looking at. If you're a little bit further away, like you guys are in the Rocky Mountain area, you might not be able to just fly on over to California really quick, especially amongst a pandemic. Reach out to those admissions offices and see what they offer virtually for students, whether that's appointments with faculty, appointments with students, virtual tours, virtual dorm tours, things like that. Utilize your resources, because right now in this century, there's a lot at your fingertips. So just take advantage of it all.
Great, thank you all so much. So we're just about out of time for this session. So I want to say thank you for joining us. A big thank you to all of our presenters. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey, and we do appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, just a reminder that this is one of many different sessions happening as part of this college fair, so please do sign up for more, and you'll be able to find a recording of this session and others in about a week at strivescan.com/RMACAC. So that concludes this session. Thank you all so much for joining us and have a great rest of your evening.
Bye, everyone.